Arise, O compatriots, Nigeria's call will be to serve our fatherland with love and strength and faith. Ha 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 ha. Yes, good morning. Thy labor of, how many heroes do we have that are passed? Shall never be in vain. To serve without a might, a nation to build on freedom, peace and unity. Yeah, I changed it because we don't have a nation that is built yet on peace and unity or freedom. Nigerians are not free. Nigerians are not united. Nigeria has no peace. So, welcome to this broadcast this morning. It's 8 a.m. here, Central Standard Time, Houston, Texas, United States of America. And my name is Smart Mado Ajaja. I'm the convener of Open Nigeria and Africa Unite, and the anchor of Nigeria Now at ONN, and then the Nightingale Radio International. The reason for this broadcast is to state unequivocally why I detest Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his APC, and why I am sad about those who are organizing and scheming for 2027. I don't know on what moral platform they stand to agitate or to make those plans. I don't know the contingency plans they have, to begin to tell us, even in a state of confusion that has not been resolved constitutionally, why any group of Nigerians should be organizing for 2027 or for another election when we are in 2024 and the problem created in 2023 has remained unresolved. Well, we will get to that when we talk about the details of what we are doing. The reason why I don't hate Bola Tinubu, I don't, from my heart of heart. The Almighty God knows that. I do not hate him. I am only exercising my right as a citizen of Nigeria because I share the same citizenship of the same country with him. And being a citizen of Nigeria, I have rights that are inalienable to question, to interrogate Nigeria, to interrogate the system of Nigeria, to interrogate those who push themselves, who force themselves, or those who come through the real means to want to be my leader, to want to be the leaders of my country. I have a right, a constitutional right, and a basic human right to do what I am doing. I am not driven by tribalism. I am not driven by any other interest except the interest weaved around my citizenship of Nigeria. And if you, who is watching me or who will be watching me later, do not know those rights, I will share with you what your rights are and your obligation to country. First of all, we start with your basic human right, because that is the fulcrum of what drives what we do at Open Nigeria. We recognize our right to life given by the Almighty God is sacrosanct. Our right to choice, our right to freedom of expression, our right to freedom of association, our right to freedom of worship, and our right to self-determination. All right? Those are basic human rights. And nobody, no government, no institution can give it to you but the Almighty God. It is the welcome package God gave to everybody, or God gives to every person at birth. It is activated because it's supposed to be what drives you, the driver of your being all through your life. And the Almighty God withdraws it. He withdraws this right at death. That is why Bob Marley said, you must fight for your rights when you are alive. Because when you die, you are not talking about rights anymore. So the rights, your basic human rights, are very, very important tools and instruments with which you will navigate through your lifetime. So that is why God commands us to guard it jealously and defend it fiercely whenever they come under assault. But have you, as a Nigerian, have you, as an African, do you know these rights? Have you been asserting them? Have you been fighting for them? And on top of that, you have rights as citizens of Nigeria or any country from where you come. All right, those rights are inalienable. And those rights include the right to live in any and every part of your country, with reference to Nigeria this time. Yeah, if you are a Nigerian, you have right to live anywhere, east, west, north, and south, without being afraid of threats like we have in Nigeria. Those who threaten other people in a nation state of Nigeria are ignorant of the rights associated with their citizenship, and so are flagrantly violating the rights of those that they target, like what people do to the Igbos in Lagos and other parts of Nigeria. In Kano, I've been a victim of the one in Kano. Here, my forehand here, Kano riot, I was stabbed. They killed my friend in my presence. And that is why I'm coming back. You know, some people say I have to be diplomatic. I will not be diplomatic with the people who take guns, people who take the daggers and be killing fellow Nigerians, or people who go out there in Lagos and be conducting Oro in midday, Oro that is reserved to be done at night, and the claim of ownership of Lagos. Lagos is a part of Nigeria, and so every Nigerian has equal right, has the right to build and do whatever, as long as they follow the laws of the land. And the laws of the land, I mean the laws of Nigeria. Nobody has any right to ask anybody to leave Lagos or any part of Nigeria. So that's that. Your right to live anywhere in Nigeria. Right to conduct business, legitimate business anywhere and everywhere in Nigeria is your right as a citizen of Nigeria. The right to go to school anywhere in Nigeria is your right. The right to admission without controversy is your right as a Nigerian citizen. But outside all this, you do have obligation to Nigeria, because that's one thing Nigerians don't understand, that they have obligations. And your obligations include your civic, your moral, and constitutional obligation to Nigeria. Now, look at this way. Nigeria is a warehouse, a motherly warehouse. Our mother, and our father. Nigeria is a combination of mother and father. So that's two parents rolled into one. And we, regardless of our ethnicities, regardless of what we call God, are the children of Nigeria. In families, people have a divergent of opinion. All right, we do not have to be like the same at all time, because otherwise it will make us look like we are robots, and the essence of our diversity is lost. So we are supposed to be a beautiful diversity of children of one mother and father. And then if you are children of these two great parents rolled into one as Nigeria, I don't think it is germane, it is great for you to close your eyes when some children are raping your mother, when some children are attacking our father. This is where we have problems with Nigeria. A lot of us don't understand what it takes to be a citizen or citizens of Nigeria. And this is what I'm trying to break down for you. If you are a citizen of Nigeria, you are a child of Nigeria. I don't care what tribe you come from. I don't care what religion it is that you adhere to. That is a personal problem. But when it comes to being the children of Nigeria, you must stand up for Nigeria at all times, not at only when it is convenient for you. Especially like at a moment like this, when our country has come under assault. Our country is insecure, most insecure. Some people, I don't know if they are truly from Nigeria, but I know they are driven by some forces in Nigeria to pick up arms and be shooting up our country, kidnapping farmers, raping our women, disrupting the whole entire country for whatever reason. All right, trying to tell all of us that we must behave some kind of way by virtue of their religion. It's unfair, it's unacceptable for any of us and all of us to remain quiet, especially when our supposed security forces and our supposed leaders are doing absolutely nothing. We have a right to self-defense. We have a right to defend Nigeria. Have we been doing it? No, we have not been doing it because we are paying more attention to our tribes. Our tribal allegiance has taken over our allegiance, our supposed allegiance to our country. So this is what we must define right now. You can still be a Yoruba person. You can be a Fulani person. You can be an Igbo person. You can be an Ika person like I am. You can be Ibibio. You can be Efik. You can be Gala. You can be Thief. You can be Berom. You can be whatever that you are within the space of Nigeria and still be that citizen of Nigeria. Why? How do you do it? You place Nigeria first at all times because Nigeria is supposed to be a socio-economic a country run on justice, be it social or socio-economic. But that has not happened because those we put at the front of leadership in Nigeria have always divided us along these needless ethnic and religious divides. Why? How do they do it? Because they make us poor. When you are poor, you become most vulnerable. And when you are poor, you listen to crazy voices that have a little bit of food in their hands. That is where we have a problem. So what are we calling for? Nigeria must unite. It's either we unite recognizing that we are from one country or we break up the country if unity is impossible. So that everybody, including those who want to build genuine countries, can go their way and build whatever their dream of a real country is. It's without no fight, without the loss of blood. But you tell us that the unity of Nigeria is non-negotiable. Non-negotiable. That is false. You know, when I used to hear it, a lot of those who have been in position to lead the country, though they are hollow intellectually, will come and tell us that the unity of Nigeria is non-negotiable. The unity of Nigeria is negotiable if we negotiate it and agree through a document in a new constitution, robust constitution, elastic constitution that will always make room for accommodating people, including responsible visitors to Nigeria. Then we'll have the organic unity that we are looking for. And that is what it is. So the unity of Nigeria is very, very negotiable. And this is what we are talking. And this is the reason why we are asking and demanding and working towards a new way. And that we call Open Nigeria, with free, fair, equal, unlimited, and unconditional access to opportunity for every Nigerian. Yes, for every Nigerian to grow and develop and progress and prosper according to his or her level of competency and abilities. That's all that we need to drive Nigeria. And when we have it and all of us understand it, and it goes into the psyche, our national psyche, all these problems we are fighting, all this ethnic rivalry that have become the order of the day will die naturally. Yes, it will die naturally. If I can live in America for nearly 30 years, I am on my lane, all right, and doing my thing. Nobody is disturbing me. Nobody ever reminds me that I'm from Nigeria, or asks me in a silly way, about where I come from. I don't understand why I cannot be free in Nigeria to advance a cause for my life, while doing the best I can to be a good Nigerian. Yes, that is the thing. So, your obligation to Nigeria, we all owe Nigeria an obligation to defend her at all times, to ensure that none of our brothers, regardless of where they come from, regardless of their size and statuses, will come and be destroying Nigeria the way the country is being destroyed as we speak right now by a few people. Less than 10,000 people are harassing and they're driving 250 million fellow Nigerians underground. Yes, what does it do? It destroys a nation. Our country is going through a very, very, very traumatic destruction. But if you don't see it yet, I see it, and there are others who are seeing it. But this state of fear that they have imposed on Nigeria and the people of Nigeria is not healthy for any nation. Where citizens are afraid of government, that country is doomed. And that is where we are. That is why you see our security forces lost touch with reality. Our security forces, especially the drivers of our security forces, have become politicians. They defend politicians and not Nigeria. Their job is to defend Nigeria, not government or the drivers of government. They have no business. Like we see the chief of army staff and the so-called chief of defense staff coming out to make political statements that they are defending democracy. That is not your constitutional obligation. That's not your responsibility. You don't defend the democracy. You don't defend government. When you start making those statements, it becomes that you have become compromised. And rightly as they have become. They are politicians. That is why they cannot fight Boko Haram. That is why they are not able to deal with the ragtag Fulani bandits that are running amok all over Nigeria. It's something to worry about. Then, yes, so I hope exhaustively, I've explained that to you. One very important thing. Yes, understanding the rule of law. Every country is supposed to be governed in an orderly manner, so that everybody will be responsible. But you must master and be an apostle of the rule of law. But what is the case with Nigeria? Nigeria has become a lawless entity, where people can come and do whatever they like and get away with it. The only people who are punished are the poor in Nigeria. Somebody is put in a position, he's secretary to federal government of Nigeria. He steals 80 billion naira. And then his EFCC, fake EFCC, tries to perform his function. They arrest him, they arraign him, and it ends there. The next day, the emir of Kano is giving him a chieftaincy title. The message we are sending? That is okay to be flagrantly corrupt. It is okay to be brazenly corrupt. It is okay to take state resources and put it in your pocket and then live in a criminal opulence, while majority of your fellow citizens go to bed on empty stomachs, why schools are not funded, why research institutions are unfunded, why infrastructure in the country is going down the drain. That is, again, another reason we must be responsible. We are getting to that point in Nigeria where maybe perhaps jungle justice, as Jim Crow as it is, may become necessary. Why is it that criminals who are elites don't go to prison? Nobody tries them. But a young man who steals out of hunger goes to steal a cup of rice is sentenced to jail. Questions that you We must ask questions that we, the ordinary people of Nigeria, I'm talking about the truck pusher, I'm talking about the Okada rider, I'm talking about that man who wakes up to go line up on the streets of Abuja, Benin, Asaba, every day, looking for who to hire him, engage him for a daily job. It's a question that we must ask ourselves. Why? Who truly owns this country? From my understanding of citizenship, the meaning of citizenship of any country, it is equal. Everybody has equal access to it. No citizen is bigger than the other. We are all stakeholders in the business of Nigeria. How have we heard in our own areas? What are we doing when there is an election? How do we vote? Do we sell our votes? We sell our votes to the criminals who are now holding us hostage. We sell our votes to the terrorists who are shooting up our country. A lot of them in the political class, a lot of them in the political class are worse than bandits. They are worse than Boko Haram because they create them. The hunger, the poverty that they create through their bad policies and their inactions are responsible for what is taking place in Nigeria. They are responsible for the drastic erosion of Nigeria. They are responsible for the type of vulnerability Nigeria has become right now. They are the reason why there is poverty. They are the reason why there is mass hunger. They are the reason why there is insecurity, because they have demonstrated that they are not leaders and they cannot lead anybody. And this is the reason why we must dismantle that Nigerian system that makes it possible for drug dealers, certificate forgers, identity thieves, terrorists, and bandits to become leaders in our country. In true countries, you don't have to have money in order to be elected a leader. All you need to have is abilities, competency, yes, knowledge, courage to do great things, and the exceptional content of character required to build, utilize, expand, extend, and sustain capacity beyond yourself for the good of everybody and for the good of the country and its unborn generations. That is that. That is what made America great. That is what made Japan great. That is what is making India a better country. That is what is making Brazil a better country. That is what made Germany one of the best countries on earth. That is what is building all the great countries that you hear, including China, that is now emerging as a global force. Leadership. 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 Good leadership. And conscious followership. When I say conscious followership, citizens who can ask questions, citizens who are responsible, citizens who know that Nigeria, for instance, is their country and that they don't have any other country but Nigeria, and so must do everything possible to make Nigeria work in their very little spaces. So if 200 million Nigerians are saying we are tired of having bad leadership, you know the impact. If 200 million of Nigerians are saying that corruption has destroyed our country, today, I'm looking at myself in the mirror, I am not going to do any corrupting anymore. I'm going to treat fellow Nigerians like they are human beings. In my beat, on my job, in my position, I will make sure that I will not do any corrupt things, and I will not encourage corruption. And when I see any person doing any corrupting, I'm going to stand up to that person. If all of us start doing it, taking effect from today, you imagine what Nigeria is going to be. Nigeria is bleeding, and it's bleeding to death. Yes, that is why we have leaders who don't care. Leaders who will come into power by hook or by crook on day one. On day one, they are buying themselves yacht. All right? Yes, they are buying themselves expensive $200,000 each sports utility vehicles because they are lawmakers. What laws are they making? Which laws have they made that have empowered impacted Nigeria positively. They are thieves. All of them, thieves. The governors are in their states doing the same ugly things, putting the state budgets in their pocket. Their houses of assembly are robots. You see, you don't see a house of assembly that has no say. Oh, it's dictatorial democracy that we have. The governor said, the president said, and it ends like that. Senate president said, and all that. They go and throw parties, lavish parties. And you, the poor person, is invited in your thousands to watch someone like Akpabio celebrate his stupid 60-year birthday anniversary. Yeah, at a stadium that he named after himself. Is that not annoying enough? And then you are there in your thousands, expecting one plate of rice with oh Lord have mercy. And you were there looking at him, living in opulence. You are not asking them questions. Every 4 years they come. They give you 1,000 naira. If you're a killer, maybe they'll buy you one used car. Is that all your life is going to be about? Do you worry about your immediate? You don't worry about your hospitals? You don't worry about your schools? You don't worry about your roads? You don't worry about the darkness that has enveloped Nigeria for over 50 years? You don't, above all, you don't worry about your own children. Any parent who does not care about his children, like the way it is now, Nigerian leaders don't care about their country. It's not worth to be a parent. Just like Nigerian leaders are not worthy of being called leaders. So now let us get serious as citizens of Nigeria. Let us start holding these people accountable. Let us start holding our own selves accountable. Let's start with us. What are you doing now that things are getting ugly? What are you doing? I am not a believer in street protest in Nigeria anymore, because street protest in Nigeria does not work. I am not. I think we need to look for an alternative way of doing it. If we are not serious, we are so afraid of coming out to demand accountability from those who pretend to be our leaders. Otherwise, there's no reason why that National Assembly or the various state house of assembly, I don't see any reason why they should be open if we are serious people. We have the number, but we are not using them. We are afraid of dying, but I remind you that change and freedom does not come free. It comes with sacrifices. Every country that became free or relatively free, their citizens paid prices. Why are we afraid of paying prices? We are afraid of opening up our mouths. Why are we afraid of resisting? Resisting does not mean you have to be violent. You don't have to be violent. If I don't want to do anything, I don't want to do it. You can't kill me. So we need to look for ways of protesting. Otherwise, what is happening in Nigeria, half of an inch of what is happening in Nigeria, if it happens in other places, those countries will be shut down. But Nigerians will love to make adjustments. Every evil policy they bring, we make jokes out of them and then start adjusting to them. Look at the state of the economy of Nigeria. Look at millions of Nigerians who are not able to feed. Yes. Look at the state of our hospitals. Look at the state of our schools. Look at the state of our infrastructure. Look at the darkness in which we live, that we have accepted as normal. It doesn't, no country tolerates that. No citizens of serious countries tolerate that. But we tolerate all this. And on top of that, we still celebrate those who make all this possible. That is sad. It looks like something is wrong with us in the head. And truly, something is wrong with us. People from outside now are asking questions. What is wrong with the people of Nigeria? You still find this place to be divided. You find the place because this is what your oppressors love. They tell you about your tribe. You want to defend your tribe, even at your point of death. You want to defend a criminal from your tribe who is killing the whole of Nigeria, including you. You want to defend him because it's your own. How is he your own? Is it making life better for just you and your people? The last time I checked, no. So why can't you heighten your level of consciousness to say this is not about tribe? Why can't you increase your level of consciousness to understand that this is not about religion or about any other thing, but about your country, about you, about your future, about the future of your children, about the well-being of, overall well-being of your children, about their schools, about their healthcare, about... Are we these people who don't care? Are we these people who really don't care? We are in the same country. We are in the same boat. We are porridge in the same pot. We are being boiled. We are being fried. We are being desiccated. We are being bound together. So why can't we set religion aside? Why can't we set our tribes aside? Why can't we look at the bigger picture? Nigeria. Nigeria is the bigger picture. Why do we think that leaders must come from our tribes? Instead of looking at the country holistically and say, let us now, going forward, start choosing the best, regardless of where he or she comes from, regardless of whatever he worships as God, as long as he is the one who possesses the ability, the competency, the courage, the knowledge, and the exceptional content of character required to open doors for the rest of us. And you know that he or she is going to do it with an even hand. We know those who are not tribalists in Nigeria, those who care about the country. We have them, but you know what? They are all underground or have escaped and left the country. Yes, lamenting where they are and then making the best of their abilities in foreign lands where they are celebrated. But when they go back to Nigeria, they become like fish out of the water. Because there's one evil called Nigerian system that stands in the way of the good of Nigeria and which we must dismantle. Why can't we for once set all these things that divide us apart and say, look, I'm wearing the uniform of Nigeria today. We have had enough. Why should we be struggling? Why should we be struggling in vain? Since the past 64 years, this year Nigeria will be 65 years old. Yes. Yes. We have been struggling. And it has not worked. Our fight against one another has not led us anywhere. Why can't we stop and ponder and ask ourselves, why are we having this amalgamation treaty signed by 6 people, 6 Nigerians, whatever later became Nigeria, 6 to the exclusion of over 400 ethnic nationalities? Does that not bother you? And since then, the country has been running on the wrong footing. Yeah. And then we became independent. They say independent. Are we truly independent? 1960. Look at what one leader of Nigeria said about a whole ethnic group. So it means that out of that whole ethnic group, no, not one person is good. You wiped out them with your mouth. Powerful speech from a powerful leader. Yeah, that is respected, so respected in his own area. Then he shot Nigeria in the brain on day 1. All right? And before we knew it, 6 years after, the country was up in flame. Again, against the same people that somebody condemned at independence. Is the country growing out of it? Yes, 6 years after. 6 years after. Those people, when they decided that the genocide was over, every person from that tribe who had a bank account, regardless of how, even if he was a billionaire, you gave him 20 pounds. Nigeria, you have no conscience. You gave him 20 pounds to start life. And then the hate against them did not stop. It even got worse. Every time the God of Nigeria is thirsty for blood, you turn to those people and harvest them and kill them. And you tell them they cannot leave. You hold them captive and you kill them. And you don't want them to leave the country. How fair are you, Nigeria? This is a question we must answer. The university in their town, University of Nigeria and Nsukka, the engineering department, chemical engineering department, has remained shut since after the genocide. All right? But chemical engineering departments in other schools across Nigeria are open. Nigeria, are you fair? Nigerians, are you fair? Do you have conscience? And still, you don't want the people to be anything. You don't want them to come out. You don't want them to live around you. They are always a threat. Every time they do anything that... And these people contribute to every community that they go, even far more than what they do in their own places. They neglect their places of origin and come and develop your place. They create job opportunities for you, and your people. And you still find that joy in killing them. Whenever any small thing happens anywhere, they are the first targets. Nigeria, I'm speaking to you, Nigeria. I'm speaking to you, Nigerians. I'm speaking to you, those who have led Nigeria, including the one who called one place in Nigeria, part of his constituency, a dot in a circle with no exit. How dare you? And then Nigerians kept quiet. The same people in whose territory there has been unrelenting military operations. Yes, that is not taking place even where Boko Haram is killing people. Yes. Nigerians keep quiet. Nigerians, we are not fair. Nigerians, we have no conscience. But we can change. We can change. In the United States, if there's a disaster anywhere, everybody is racing to that place. Everybody is contributing to that place. And if there's any reason the country will react to anything, you see that they come together and react as a country. They don't come together, they don't react as tribes. They don't leave problems for tribes. There is no tribe here. There is a religion. People go about their religion. All right? Religion is not a thing that chokes the country down. It is a personal choice. You don't come together and do religion like we do it in Nigeria. It's never a war between Christians and Muslims here. There is none like that. It can't happen. There are ways to address that. You can't even bring that up here at all. And you can never be discriminated against on the basis of your religion, on the basis of your tribe, on the basis of even your sexual orientation. Gay people have power. Yes, they are even wanting more. You know what I'm saying? So, outside their own basic human right, that is where I have a problem with them. So that is a country that works. Why are we in the way? We listen to wrong voices. We listen to fake traditional rulers. Yes, fake traditional rulers. And fake traditional rulers, especially from the southwest of Nigeria and the north of Nigeria. Some of them are not qualified to be traditional rulers, but they come that they are traditional rulers. Why should somebody, an invader, become a minority invader, become the traditional ruler of an Hausa whopping majority? But that is Nigeria. We don't see the need to address that, and that is where we're having problem. And that is another thing that is going to blow up in Nigeria's face. It's coming. You can't keep people suppressed for the rest of their lives. A generation will come with questions. And another generation, if not the one that asks the question, another generation will push to end their subjugation. Nigeria is being subjugated. Nigeria is being exploited so badly. How many are we going to talk? Look at a country with 4 refineries, none functioning. And all of a sudden, one man with one refinery built off of Nigeria's money is now taking the economy of Nigeria. All right, you know the implication of that? Those of you who cannot see, there is danger looming in front. big danger. You know what they call monopoly? Monopoly, devoid of competition. We don't want that type of Nigeria. We want more refineries. If the government cannot build the refinery, let them sell what they have to individuals. Let there be competition. Competition drives down prices. That is what free market economy is supposed to be. That is why when they talk about this fuel subsidy in Nigeria, I'll be laughing. American fuel system is deregulated. You need to see the competition. Price war. If you look at here, you are seeing Chevron. The other one, you are seeing Shell. The prices are never going to be the same. They are competing for business. One will lower its price, and then traffic will be driven to its store. But in Nigeria, what do they do? They say they remove subsidy. And you are so damn stupid, you are fixing prices. If you truly want to remove subsidy, let the economy be open. Let there be price war. And then people will have choices. Then the prices will drop. And everybody will be happy. If you are selling, like me, I don't buy anything, even if they are selling $10, 1 cent for 1 gallon. I don't buy Shell, any petrol from Shell, because I have the impression that buying petrol from Shell is buying Nigerian blood. Coming from Niger Delta, where the people suffer. The people have been suffering since 1952, when they discovered oil. And the rest of Nigeria is happy. Emir Sultan of Sokoto, I hear, has an oil block in my Niger Delta. But I and people from my area do not have a block. Yeah, gold block in Zamfara. They don't have gold block in Sokoto. Yeah, is that a fair Nigeria? Nigeria has a lot of questions to answer. Why should the Sultan of Sokoto have an oil block? For real? For what? Who gave it to him? For what? But it's happening. A lot of people from that part of Nigeria have oil blocks everywhere. They control the oil. Look at what Mili Kyari is doing, destroying NMPC, on top of destroying our environment in the Niger Delta. All right, and they're polluting our water. Our people drink shit. They drink petroleum, raw petroleum, and there are no healthcare facilities. There are no schools to mitigate the problems that they have. And we say we have a fair Nigeria, good Nigeria. And this is what must end now. I want a Nigeria where Nigerians will have conscience. I want a Nigeria where people will be sensitive enough to understand the plight of those living in the Niger Delta, to understand the plight of those living in Maiduguri, to understand the plight of those living in Lagos, Ibadan, and other places, to understand the plight of those who live in Igbo land. Yes, that is what we need. That is the Nigeria we need. That is the Nigeria with the chemistry that we need. We don't have it yet. We don't have it yet. Because we have those primordial things that have been dividing us, now complicated by poverty. How dare traditional rulers, whose ancestors sold our people into slavery, still be prominent, doing absolutely nothing, getting paid, and they are allowed to do all kinds of nonsense to our people. And then we are expected to be quiet because he's a traditional ruler. Traditional rulers go to the markets, yes, in violation of the Constitution of Nigeria. I know some who are doing it. They go to their wives, their mothers go to market to collect money illegally from market women and traders who come into those markets. The local councils are on the other side collecting. What is that constitutional? And nobody says anything about that. All this nonsense has to stop because our people are being abused left, right, and center. Look at where our country is right now. Look at where our country is. So that is that about me and Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He's a criminal. He's a drug dealer. Most painfully, a drug dealer. A drug dealer who was indicted here in the United States from where I'm broadcasting. Yes, he was part of the people who turned Gary, Indiana into a drug city. That city, as we speak, is run down because of drugs. Bola Ahmed Tinubu was part of it. He made a lot of money selling drugs that killed children, destroyed families, and made children homeless, and destroyed fathers, heads of families who were part of those who were taking drugs. And he was indicted here in the United States. And then he paid restitution of nearly 500,000 US dollars. Yeah, because America loves money. And then they sent him out of America. He came to Nigeria. Nigeria welcomed him with open hand, open arm. He became a senator, a drug dealer representing part of Lagos as a senator. All right, after his senatorial run, he became a governor with everything in his hand. He took over everything about Lagos. He wrecked Lagos and put it in his pocket. And they call him a great governor. What makes him great? A criminal. What makes him great? And look at where. And that wasn't enough. Riding on what he stole from Lagos. Yes, the highest state with the highest revenue coming into that place. Only God knows how much comes into Lagos. It's a lot of money. So when I go to places like Morocco, I go to places like Orile and see how undeveloped Ajegule and see how undeveloped those areas are, I will ask that all those who have ruled Lagos need to be arrested and tried summarily and executed for what they did. They go there to make money because the whole place is rowdy. People don't even see to the functional unit of Lagos what that state has been turned into. Bola Ahmed Tinubu stole the hell out of Lagos. Now, from what he stole from Lagos, he became most ambitious to become the president of Nigeria. Yes, he became the president of Nigeria illegally by compromising all of the country's institutions, by undermining the constitution of Nigeria. Then now he's declared president of Nigeria. And all of you, including you who is watching me, you are aware. Some of you shared to me a message about Yakubu, the corrupt and evil INEC chairman, going to his home a day before the election in his private, Bola Ahmed Tinubu's private jet. They were making merry. So the election was a foregone conclusion, regardless of how our people were lined up across the country to vote. Whether they voted or not, their vote did not mean anything. And they went ahead and declared him winner. You kept quiet. Everybody kept quiet. And you knew, we all know, God knows, he did not win the election. We went to sleep. Before we knew what was going on, he was already occupying the defense building. Look at where our country is. Look at where our country is right now. He bought the APC presidential ticket. Foreign currencies were used. The EFCC was there. They did absolutely nothing. So at what point are we going to defend our country? When are we going to defend our country? He did that, and then we went into the election proper. We hear the Fulani Emir, Sultan of Sokoto, telling Muslims, especially in the north, that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is their own. He's a Muslim. So which means the Sultan of Sokoto is morally bankrupt. He's corrupt. I know that Islam does not tolerate drugs. I know that Islam does not tolerate corruption. I know that Islam does not tolerate frauds. The Sultan of Sokoto closed his eyes. And he's supposed to be the moral mirror of Muslims in Nigeria. I don't know why someone like that should be moral mirror of a great religion like Islam. Corrupt, morally bankrupt, spiritually bankrupt. He told them that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is one of their own. He's a hypocrite. That man is a hypocrite. I say, share it to him, Saad. He's supposed to be removed as Sultan of Sokoto. If I were the governor, he's going to be gone. If I'm a governor who is moral as I am, yeah, morally astute as I am, and I'm a Muslim. All Muslims are supposed to be rising up against that man. He has blighted Islam with corruption. He went and made a statement that nothing will stop Bola Ahmed Tinubu from being sworn in on May 29, 2023. He had his way Muslim ticket instead of Nigerian ticket. They made it a big issue. And all the Muslims in the north rallied behind this foolishness, rallied behind this fraud. Who is now more hungry? Who is crying now? The Muslims, especially the Hausas, you must wake up and sequester yourself. You can still be your best Muslims, but you don't have to line behind the hypocrites. All the people out there, most of the emirs in the north, they are hypocrites and bigots. They do not represent your interests. Just like Adeboye does not represent the interest of anyone. Like Oyedepo does not represent the interest of anyone. Like Neche does not represent the interest of anyone. They represent the interest of their pockets. They don't care about Nigerians. Nigerians can go to hell as long as they are surviving and living in opulence and their children are outside the country doing well and doing great. Nigerians, it's time for a rebellion. Rebel like never before. Rebel like never before. Stop listening to these criminals. They are elitist criminals. They don't have your interests at heart. They don't care about you. As long as you can die and go to hell. It doesn't bother them. So open your eyes and start listening. Open your eyes and start looking. Open your ears and start listening to the right people who tell you the truth. Why do we have to shoot up Nigeria because of Islam and Christianity? Why do we have to die because I am Yoruba, somebody is Igbo, and another person is also Fulani? Why? These people they create these things. And behind the scene, the party have good time with themselves. Only you are dying. It's time to open your eyes. Now, APC. APC is a terrorist organization. Yes, known. Terrorist organization. Fronting as a political party in Nigeria. Nobody. If you are a member of APC, an ordinary member of APC, know ye today that you have signed up for terrorism. You are supporting terrorism. You may be a good person, but your party is led by terrorists and bandits. All the banditry and terrorism taking place in Nigeria are funded and masterminded by majority of the leaders in APC, especially from the north of Nigeria. Are you hearing me? Hear that. I am a Nigerian and I'm exercising my right to the citizenship of Nigeria. Let hell be let loose. You should be coming after them. APC is responsible for the terrorism in Nigeria. APC is responsible for the banditry in Nigeria. The drivers of APC at the national level, especially those from the north, are the masterminds of terrorism and banditry in Nigeria. They are acting a long-term history, a long-term plan of taking over Nigeria. So if you are from anywhere else in Nigeria, you are in APC. I don't care wherever you are. And if you are an honest person, you are a good person in that party, you need to start asking yourself questions about your membership of that party because you belong to a terrorist organization. I was in it for 1 year, I think less than 1 year, until I saw what I saw. I said, no, I can't be here. This is a terrorist organization. Don't you see the operation? Why are they not able to confront the bandits? Why are they not able to confront the terrorists? Why do we have terrorists and bandits all over Nigeria with an APC government in power? They wasn't stronger. Why is it that the army cannot be deployed against them? Those are questions you must ask. Now, why do you have Kashim Shettima as the president of Nigeria, a vice president of Nigeria? A man in whose house, Aminu Sokoto, Aija Najatu said it again. And this is a fact that we know. Aminu Sokoto, the guy behind the bombing of the United Nations building in 2011 at Abuja that killed over 26 workers, United Nations workers. Some of them are Nigerians, some of them were people from other countries who worked in that building. Aminu Sokoto was arrested in Kashim Shettima's house. Rogue terrorist with their ties to Boko Haram. Today is your vice president. And you are telling me about 2027. Are you serious? You are not serious. Yes. And we did not address that. Kashim Shettima. Shettima Kashim, or whatever it is. Our Kashim Shettima is a terrorist with ties Boko Haram. Are you afraid? Keep on being afraid, Nigerians. All of the noise one that they make. And I also dance with the dance. Dance. Brazilian hair. Ope. Instead of uniting to fight for your country. You are doing a favor. Flavor. P-Square. All right? What is the other one name? Davido. There's one actually that is standing out. Bomber Boy. I think that one is a good guy. Because I've been hearing him. So I used to call him as one of them. So let me remove him from that list. But the rest of them are useless. And those are the people you follow blindly. They are not leading you anywhere. They are making money. You who claim that you don't have money, every time you are calling me for money. But when Davido put up a show, you pay for it. Right? They can't do anything for their country. You see what Bob Marley did for Jamaica? When Jamaica was hot, he did a peace concert that brought the country together. He put himself in the line. They shot him for resisting to be used. He still came that night after they shot him to do the show. He did the greatest show, Smile Jamaica. And peace came to his country. And the people became more conscious. What are you doing with your following? What are you doing outside making money and doing silly stuff? Something is wrong with us as a people. So like I was saying, I was a member of APC. I ran for Senate. I started my senatorial run on the platform of APC ahead of the 2019 election. Man, what I saw was astonishing. I grew APC in Delta State. When people could not open their mouth in the daytime to talk about APC, I was one who was talking about APC. I thought it was a good party. My friend, my sister, Loretta Anoche, was one of those who convinced me to join the party. I was not a political party person, although I'm very politically conscious. But I saw what I saw. I said, no, I couldn't. My image started dipping, you know. After making that party popular in Delta State, my greatest mistake was coming out to say that I wanted to run for Senate. They said, no, you cannot come from America like that and jump in front of us. They started calling me CIA agent. They started calling me an Americana. Some came and told me that I did not have money. One of the very first old man that I met, went to his house at Ogwashuku. He told me, man, I've been following you since the past 4 years. You are the best candidate. I'm going to support you. When the time came for support, he started telling me that I need to line up my pocket with a lot of dollars when I'm coming to see him. So that's when I stopped. Oshomole, I went to see Oshomole at the National Party. Said he was the corrupt chairman of the party then. He told me that I should come back. By the time I came back, he ran away. Yes, he ran away because it looks like he knew what I was coming to do. We pushed and pushed and pushed. They jacked up the cost of buying their nomination form from 3.5 million to 10 million. Yeah, so, and Buhari went and purchased a piece of sheet of a paper for 47 million. This is a man who said he came because of the poor. So I asked them, why is Buhari spending this amount? That was where my problem started. So they frustrated my effort. So I had to leave the party for them. In fact, went and connived and worked because they knew that there was no way, they didn't have any good candidate, any person near as good as I was. They went and started working with PDP to stop me because I was a threat. They said this American guy, they started calling me Americana. That if they allow him into the Senate, he's going to disrupt everything. And they knew that was a matter of fact, even if I did not openly say it. I criticized Omo Agege for going to becoming a robber who brought thugs, broke into the Senate, and took the mace. They were not happy that I criticized them. In fact, my campaign manager told me, we don't do that in politics. I said, really? No, I told them my politics is about nation first and not party. I know my basic human rights. And I put that first in everything. I am sovereign. And my sovereignty is higher than your APC sovereignty. I am not. I will never be loyal. My allegiance will not be to the constitution of APC. Especially when they are abusing the process, due process for that matter. So they did not like it. I was the only one who stood up from APC against Omo Agege. So they all connived against me. And then, so I left the party. Even my sister, for whose reason I came into the party, was non-committal. I remember my friend in China, the financial attaché to the embassy in China, Nigerian embassy in China, challenged her when she came to China on the big Buhari's entourage. She was not an economist. She was not part of anything. But because she's, I don't know how she made it. She was part of that big team that went to China. So my friend challenged her. He says, Smart, who has risked everything for you. We don't hear you talk about it. She told him that Smart is not on ground. What is being on ground? And not spending money. And not giving away my hard-earned money, to the Nigerian political process. So I left the party for them. Then joined the AAC. But I don't want to talk much about AAC. I'm going to have to talk about that later. So I ran my senatorial race on the AAC. Knowing that they could not beat me and the APC did not have a candidate, they worked with Peter Wombosh. All right? To shortchange our people. And plus the Okawa factor. They all connived. Just to tell you how wicked these people are. You may see them talking about politics in the daytime. At night, they unite against the good of Nigeria. Yes. Okawa and Womboshi actually relocated the PDP headquarters to my hometown. They started constructing fake roads. All those roads now are all dead. Just because of me. A hospital project that was abandoned like 40 years ago. They brought it to the fore. What is happening right now is only a mortuary, the mortuary that works. So when above people die, they dump them there. Just because of the threat that I represented. And I know that I came for good for the people of Nigeria. That's why I'm pissed off with our people, especially those from the Delta North, and especially people from my hometown, on whose liberation I spent tens of millions, to get them away from the hands of a terrorist who paraded himself as the king of my hometown. We dethroned him and sent him on exile. Upon all that, they did not reject me, not because they didn't know that I was the best candidate, like everybody knew. They did so because they are corrupt. They did so because they are ignorant. Now, today, they are suffering. Kidnappers have taken over my hometown. If I was senator, definitely, hell no. The whole of Delta will be free from terrorists. I will lead the charge. I will go into that forest. I will take the young people with me because I am like them. I understand their message. I understand their language. And if someone like me was leading them, unlike what the mosquito killer called Ned Nwoko is doing right now, they know we will go into that forest and bring out all those terrorists. Wherever they are, we will destroy everything that they have built in our forest. But that is a story for another day. Now they have a mosquito killer, Ned Nwoko, after the criminal that was jailed. Now I'm talking about Peter Womboshi. 2 years into his tenure, They jailed him for corruption, as we know. And then they gave power again to another criminal. No, what is called Ned Nwoko. Yes. He's doing nothing but trying to sabotage the Igbos who are agitating for a new state. He's telling them about creating a Neoma state, dead on arrival, a Neoma state that is not needed right now. Igbos should have that state. But that's what our people, they know how to rile them up, to put them on that bad trajectory of where they will travel in the wrong direction. This is how sad Nigeria is. So APC is a bad party. It's an evil party. All the leaders are bad. I don't care whether all the leaders, especially their national leaders, and they came from a CPC. Buhari says CPC. All the members of the CPC are responsible for the terrorism in Nigeria. I don't know why Nigerians are afraid of saying it the way it is. But I'm not going to be one. I don't have no-go area about Nigeria. No area in Nigeria's life is a no-go area for me, as far as I know. We will talk about Nigeria anywhere and in all of its life. So that is what it is. Buhari is the grandfather of terrorism. It is part of what is taking place in Nigeria. That is why they are not fighting them. That is why the army does not fight them. The army has been politicized. Boko Haram has its members in Nigerian army. APC is an evil party. Nobody should be associated with it. No serious Nigerian should be a member of APC. Nobody should be happy to be a part of that evil political party. Yes, it's a terrorist organization. So what is the way forward for Nigeria? I get sick, seriously, about those who are organizing for 2027. Now, let me ask you a question, if you are one of them, because somebody invited me to a WhatsApp platform. Someone organizing, they put 2027. He called me, say, we need your voice here. You know, you've been doing a great job. I say, what is it about? He couldn't tell me. I say, I see 2027. Anything 2027, I'm against it. I'm opposed, very opposed to 2027. Because politically, I am still in 2023. A big disservice was done to our country. We have not solved it. So how dare you invite me to that? So I told him I'm not going to be part of it. But somehow, I think he saved my number. I don't know how he bypassed that and then added me to the group. So I wrote a rejection message. We did not go down well with him. Yes. I told him, I warned you that I am not wired the same way you are wired. Before any election in Nigeria, I want the situation of 2023 to be resolved. Okay, granted, if you put a criminal who forced himself on the people of Nigeria, violating the country's constitution, destroying all of our institutions, what documents are you going to rely on to unseat him via an election in Nigeria? Knowing fully well what Nigeria and Nigerians are capable of doing, how are you going to defeat him? I think it's an unpatriotic venture for those who are angling, for those who are organizing ahead of 2027 without addressing this travesty of justice against the people of Nigeria. I'm not talking about Peter Obi. This travesty against the people of Nigeria. On what electoral reform are you going to do it that has not started right now? Is it the type of Buhari's electoral reform that is signed towards the end of his tenure, that the people of Nigeria did not have a minute to review? We can't continue to do things like this and expect the best of results. As far as I'm concerned, Bola Ahmed Tinubu is an illegal president of Nigeria. I do not recognize him, and I will never recognize him. He's not my president. I am preoccupied with looking for ways, yes, to mobilize the people, to inspire the people of Nigeria to unite and throw him out of that place. That's my only ambition right now. I am not interested in running for office in 2027. if this situation subsists, no way. I am not, and I will not support anyone who runs for any office in 2027 with this mess in our front not cleared. That is a disservice. That will make me an unpatriotic person. And I really thank those. A few persons have sent me messages asking me to come home in 2027 to run for office, even as high as the office of the president of Nigeria, because they believe that I have the guts to change things around, and that I'm not aligned to any godfather, and that I have a mind of my own. That was what one young man wrote me yesterday. I really appreciate those young people. I really appreciate those who feel so highly of me to the extent of recommending me for the highest office in the land. But I say no, I am not running to be anything in Nigeria. My ambition right now is the ambition of dismantling the Nigerian system. If you want to join me, join the Open Nigeria ideology, or the ideological consciousness movement, so we can do it. And it's very possible that if 1 million of us come together, and truly 1 million strong, patriotic diehards of Nigeria come together, Nigeria will be shaken down. And I see that happening. So if you want to be part of what I'm doing, please follow me as you are listening to me. Then follow us, subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Now on ONN. And that is at Nigeria Now on ONN. So we can continue to talk about it. What we should be doing now is to educate our people to reject Bola Ahmed Tinubu and not line behind anybody for any election ahead of 20. If we remove him, then we can be talking about election. If we remove him, we will build a platform open for the people of Nigeria. The best of Nigeria should lead Nigeria, regardless of their religion, regardless of their tribe. They can even come from the same tribe, as long as they can line and they are patriotic Nigerians with even hand, with love for the people of Nigeria and the country itself. We don't care. Let them lead us, but not this, what we have right now. Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his gang of thieves will not lead Nigeria anywhere but doom. Goodbye for now, and thank you for listening.